charge. I crawl through the fog and into light. Show me a gem on the wave where I got starters on mine. Facing Odell Beckham Jr. My God, help me get out.
PA and Charch.
Take me to charge. Last time I had a shot.
What's going on there, Charchy? How you doing, bud?
Hi, my man. I miss you.
Likewise, Paul Charchian, at Paul Charchian via X. It's Take Me to Charch time, weekly 9 to noon, around 11 o'clock. Who are the fantasy plays tonight? Jets at Patriots.
Well, they're all on the Patriots side for sure. This is a bad Jets defense that got worse, obviously, when they moved Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. So this should be a lot of opportunities on the Patriots side. And Drake May, obviously, Paul, has been fantastic. If you want the first example of what would ultimately be Benny on just how important a coaching staff is, look at what has transpired in 2 seasons with the Patriots. And how can you not give Mike Vrabel credit, right? I mean, it's just, this is a lot of the same roster. And Drake May in year 2 has turned into an MVP caliber quarterback. And that doesn't happen by accident. And just the fact that we're seeing this from Drake May, second best in completion percentage, which wouldn't mean a lot, except he's throwing the second longest passes in the NFL, and he's still second best in completion percentage. Drake May has been arguably the most improved player in the NFL. And what the Patriots are doing right now, I just think a great testament to Mike Vrabel and, bringing in competency and experience at the head coaching position. Drake
May is favored in a majority, if not all, the betting shops to be the National Football League MVP. I mean, into the year or doing like you do, in like March or April, getting those sneaky long futures. I mean, you probably could have got him for MVP at 30-40 to 1, right?
Yeah, maybe more, Paul. Maybe more. And for whatever it's worth, Sam Darnold was sitting at 100 to 1 when the season started,
right?
And now he's down to like 20 to 1. He's in this conversation. The other thing with New England that nobody talks about or not enough, although I think you and I have talked it a little bit. Patriots run defense is the best in the league. This is the number 1 run defense by many metrics. Another huge turnaround, Mike Vrabel. Get this, no runner has topped 53 yards against the Patriots all year. No runner has scored against the New England by air or ground since week 3. Wow. And they're giving up 3.2 yards per carry to opposing running backs. It is insane. They are so good against the run. It's going to be another tough day for Breece Hall, much like last week was, and this is going to be problematic for him tonight.
And I'm taking a look at some Jets run defense numbers here. Ooh, not great. Yeah. Ramondre Stevenson is out. Travion Henderson has gotten hot, but with the Ohio State rookie, let me ask you this: he got off to a slow start. It's about the only way to put it. And yes, there were 3 players, but maybe 2, Stevenson and Henderson, along with I think Gibson. They were kind of cutting carries. Did a lot of people drop Henderson early in the season because it was slow to go?
Yes, and he was objectively bad for the first 5 weeks of the season. He was getting no run. They wouldn't put him on the field. His pass blocking was a disaster, and the runs just weren't going anywhere for Travion Henderson. Then Ramondre gets hurt 2 weeks ago, and it really forced their hand. They had to give the ball to Henderson, and he's responded with 2 good games, including last week, Paul. He had the 2 long runs. Did you see what he did on his second long breakaway run?
Brilliant. Yeah, it's brilliant. He looked at the bench to should I go down here or go in?
Exactly. He's so far ahead of the defense. He turned his head back to his coaching staff mid-run to see if he should score the touchdown or go down early. Unbelievable. The only knock on Henderson is I don't know that he's a goal line guy. They tried running him at the goal line last game. He got stuffed a couple of times. They've got another young kid most people don't know named Terrell Jennings, who might be their goal line player. But other than that, it's going to be really fun to watch this kid with a long run. He had 2 of the 4 fastest runs of last week. He had 2 different 21-mile-an-hour runs. This kid's a lot of fun.
The Birch, some really good games this weekend. Do you ever look at over-under numbers to determine what may be the highest scoring games and subsequently plug fantasy guys in that way?
A little bit. It's one of the things we look at, but it's not. I look at individual one-on-one matchups for each player, but I think it is an indicator. And I'm going to guess that you're going to pivot over to Chiefs Broncos, two teams that do not give up very many points, but I'm not sure necessarily where you're headed with this.
No, Chiefs Broncos. What fantasy guys do you use from that game?
Well, this is going to be problematic because these are two really, really good defenses, Paul. And here's where it gets fascinating for Patrick Mahomes in particular. No Patrick Surtain, who won't play in this game, but we're not expected to. Even so, the Broncos haven't given up a passing touchdown in the two games Surtain has missed, Paul. 8 of 10 opposing quarterbacks against the Broncos have thrown 0 or 1 touchdown. And if you look at what Sean Payton, anti-Vike, has done against Mahomes, maybe he's the anti-Chief too, with Vance Joseph. Last year, Mahomes, one game against the Broncos, 266 and 1 touchdown. 2 years ago, when they played twice, Mahomes combined for just 1 touchdown pass. They've done a great job. And this Broncos pass rush, Paul, potentially all-time great. They have 14 more sacks than the next closest team. And the pressure rate for the Broncos right now is the highest in the next-gen era. They're at a 43% pressure rate, Paul. It's staggering levels of awesome pass rush that the Broncos have got. And if the Chiefs lose this, that's their run of winning the AFC West is effectively over, Paul. I don't see a way where they make back 4 games on the Broncos and get past the Chargers if they lose this game.
All right, let me ask you this, Charch. So you just went down the road on the Chiefs and how difficult it will be for them in Mile High. Rashee Rice, we know what he can do, versus an A.J. Brown who's out there with Philly asking, hey, if you have me in fantasy, just drop me now because it ain't going to work. If you who do you have more faith in, Rashee Rice or Xavier Worthy getting into the end zone, or A.J. Brown this weekend, given what he said and how things have gone?
This A.J. Brown thing is amazing. So he played Madden on Monday night on Twitch, so he played at least one whole game, and over the course of that time, he described his own team as an S show. He, at one point, threw the ball. He's playing as the Eagles, and he threw the ball to himself in this game of Madden. And he said, that's the only positive I got, was throwing to himself in Madden. And then he said, if you got me on fantasy, get rid of me. We've talked about the sabotage drop on Fantasy Football Weekly for years. It's the boldest of fantasy football moves, totally incompatible with the innate cowardice of 95% of fantasy managers. This is where you outright drop a big name but frustrating player, hoping somebody else picks that guy up, and then it's their problem now. And that's what A.J. Brown is saying. He said that we should sabotage drop him now. So let me ask you two. Would you drop, if you had A.J. Brown on your team, would you comply with his request and drop A.J. Brown?
Well, I have A.J. Brown on the team, and I also have Rashee Rice, Charch, which is secretly why I asked the freaking question.
Well, if you don't, the way Paul laid it out, if you don't drop A.J. Brown, you're a coward.
I'm a coward.
Or, in a world where all of a sudden there are like angle-related subterfuge things taking place in pro sports, we'll just leave it at that. Maybe AJ knows he's a major part of the game plan the rest of the way. Yeah. He wants his foes to drop him in leagues so his dogs can win.
Oh, I like that. I like that angle. Here's why I wouldn't drop him. And it's not cowardice. Lions, Cowboys, Bears coming up next 3 games. Their rank against wide receivers for fantasy points allowed, 27th, 30th, and dead last, respectively. Lions, Cowboys, Bears. I just think, a lot of times, and well, again, I'll throw it back to you two. For players at A.J. Brown's level, the squeaky wheel oftentimes gets greased. If you are offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo, your job is on the line. Do you pull levers to get A.J. Brown the ball more? I think squeaky wheel gets fed here. What do you think?
I think it does too. And I think you prime time at the Kitties and an opportunity, or home against the Kitties, I should say, given what has transpired and in the fervor around it, there's a ton of tension. Like Philly, tough fan base. and they win a lot, but they constantly, I wonder if how much of this is manufactured, Charch, where in a way you have disgruntled stars, you have some negativity, maybe some of it's overblown, some of it manufactured inside the building. I lean towards the squeaky wheel getting greased on Sunday night.
I think so too. And Kevin Patullo's got to figure this thing out, or it's going to be just like Brian Johnson was 3 years ago, where it's going to be a one and done at offensive coordinator, because it's mostly the same offense that got the Eagles to the Super Bowl last year, personnel wise, and they look absolutely different and so much worse right now. I think they have to get their superstars the ball, and maybe we're just tainted because we saw what they could do against Minnesota, but they got to work harder to get A.J. Brown the ball, and I think it starts on Sunday night.
Hey, Charch, one left in the division before we get to Vikings-Bears, maybe for 1 and 2. Jordan Love, they just come off the loss, speaking of the Eagles. Anybody other than Josh Jacobs are you looking at? We're low sample size without Tucker Kraft and very discombobulated unit the other night. What do you think about green and gold?
It's going to be all Josh Jacobs in this game against the Giants. Their run defense is awful. Their Giants pass defense is pretty good. So it's going to be a lot of Josh Jacobs, and they want to settle down Jordan Love. And I don't blame him. I think it's going to be a low volume, quiet, efficient game for Jordan Love to just try to restabilize him and build some confidence. These last 2 games have been terrible, and they're without Elton Jenkins. And I know you two both know that he's one of the best centers in the league.
He's good.
Losing him that is a major loss. They use a guy named Sean Ryan who's going to try to fill in for him. He got benched earlier this season at guard, and now he's the starting center. So I think it's just going to be a game that's just set up perfectly to be all Josh Jacobs here and just try to rebuild some Jordan Love. But let me mention this about Love, and I don't think this is too fantasy centric, but you tell me. Sooner or later, you need your quarterback to throw touchdowns and get points. And I don't think it's too fantasy related to say Jordan Love over his last 20 games has thrown 0 or 1 touchdowns in 13 of the 20. I mean, just eventually doesn't your quarterback, especially if you're the second highest paid quarterback in the league, don't you have to just get points on the board at some point?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a phenomena that 9 to noon did not know. Bears Vikings. Which Bears do you like this weekend against Minnesota?
I think they're going to employ a run-heavy approach here against Minnesota. DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai have turned into freaking terrors. And I don't know if Viking fans are following this very closely, but Ben Johnson has basically found his new Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Stylistically, not exactly the same, but this 1-2 punch has been great. Since the Bears Week 5 bye, DeAndre Swift is running at 6.5 yards per carry, Kyle Monangai at 5.8 yards per carry. And we are going to see a concerted effort to make sure that Caleb Williams does not give the game away against the Vikings defense that has historically put him into some bad spots. So I think you're going to see a ton of Swift and Monangai in this game. Paul, how do you see this shaping up?
I agree. They're going at 185 per over the last 5.
Yeah, last thing for you really here, Charch, is on our side of the things, how much trust do you have in putting a group like a Jefferson or an Addison out there? 7 catches on 23 targets. Is it better this weekend?
Yeah. We're still starting JJ for sure. I like the fact that we've gotten 9 and I think 12 targets to JJ last 2 weeks, which is helpful. Obviously the learning curve is not perfect right now for JJ McCarthy, but this is a Bears secondary that could be missing. And you alluded to this last segment, could be missing cornerback 1, cornerback 2, definitely out, and cornerback 3. If Tyreek Stevenson isn't able to play, they're out there starting cornerbacks 1, 2, and 3. That should provide a lot of advantages for the Vikings. They're getting killed in the slot in particular. JJ, Naylor, and Addison can all run from the slot, and that can be a bonus as well. So we're going to be cautious with the Vikings offense, but and their Bears run defense has gotten a lot better as well. But I think the way that you're going to see the Vikings attack here is going to be through the air if they're missing 3 cornerbacks.
Thanks, my brother. Have a wonderful day. Best of luck this weekend. All right.
Love you guys. Talk to you in a week. Bye-bye.
Love you too. Each and every Thursday about 11 o'clock, Fantasy Feast. with
PA and Charch.
Nordo by our side. Hey, we got this now.
The Fan, along with two men in a junk truck, want to give you a shot at some bonus bucks with the National Cash Contest. This hour's keyword is money. You might make some money with the keyword money. All you got to do, enter the keyword at KFAN.com.
He's Alan Roach, and at Mile High Roach is where you can follow him via X if you are so inclined. 9 to noon does. We hope you will too. And the Vox joins us now. He'll be on the microphone for the Bears this weekend with a noon boom at U.S. Bank Stadium. Alan, welcome to 9 to noon. How are things?
Good morning, PA. I'm just working on my Amen Ogbong Mamiga pronunciation this morning.
Yeah. How do you say it again?
That is Amen Ogbong Mamiga.
Yes, and he's quite the special teamer. So from what I hear, so that could hit the U.S. Bank Stadium airwaves from Mile High Roachy this weekend for sure. Back to last weekend for a second, Alan. The offense was introduced when the Aaron Jones introduction. He runs out carrying the American flag and into the arms of his mother. And Aaron had no idea she'd be on the field for that moment. It was a very touching moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, and touching for all of us watching that knew it was coming. But imagine how Aaron Jones felt in that moment. He talks about his mom and his family all the time. So the love that he has and the relationship that he has with his mom. When, kind of the crowd cleared at the end of his runway and he saw his mom standing there in the military Viking jacket, I'm sure that was incredibly special. And then, it was, I think later on in the first quarter that they recognized during a TV timeout, Aaron's mother and what she has done in her military career. And then we welcomed her as she stood on the corner of the end zone with her family. Well, Aaron Jones ran off the sideline and ran down to the end zone to join them in that moment too. So wow. Really a great family thing. And, Showtime is just such a class act.
So I'm guessing defense introduced this weekend, which means if that's the case, Harrison Smith's 200 regular season game. He's either going to be first or last, right?
Yeah, I wonder if that will make the introduction.
Right.
I assume Hitman would be last, and I only say what's written in front of me, so it's very possible that the last name will be, and starting playing in his 200th NFL game. Is it starting his 200th NFL game?
Playing in his 200th regular season game.
Playing in. Yeah, that may make the introduction. We'll see.
Will Hitman make the introduction, or is it just Harrison Smith?
I've never done much with nicknames. I do nicknames every now and then during a play call, and a lot of that, I'll be honest, is precipitated by you, PA, and hearing all of your great calls on the radio for years and how exciting it is when you whether it's the greatest running back in NFL and he's loose and he's JJ and all those nicknames that you throw out in the course of your call. I hear how exciting that is. So I've emulated some of that, and I throw out the nicknames during gameplay, but I haven't done it during lineups.
Well, that's sweet, and that's kind of you. But where I find it to be moderately, let's say, duplicitous or moderately different than what you do at Ball Arena, then how come when you introduce Nathan McKinnon, you always say number whatever, Nathan, better than Wayne Gretzky ever was, McKinnon.
How about that team? They're 11-1-5.
Yeah, they're unbelievable. Right. And I was the Wild host your beloved Avs the Friday after Thanksgiving. And so I went to look into the schedule. I'm like, damn, that'd be really cool if Vox could come in a day early, take in that game at in St. Paul. Then, maybe we get together on a Saturday night and have some fun that way with Harper and some other people. And not to bug each other. And then the next day you got a game, but actually the Vikings will be at Seattle. But what's strange here is okay, the Avs are here day after Thanksgiving. The Wild don't go to Colorado until February 26th of next year. That's crazy.
Wow. So they'll probably, is it 3 games that we play home and away, or is there just 2 home and away?
That's a
so
great
they'll,
question.
they'll be here in February and again in April or March. So hopefully the Wild are in a position where those games have lots of postseason implication.
Were all those false...
I can tell you this, the secret for the Avalanche this year is get them to overtime.
Really?
They've played 5 overtime games, and they've lost all 5.
Yeah, that's the secret for our team, too, beloved. Vox of all Voxes, ever to Vox. Alan Roach at Mile High Roach via Twitter. Were all those false starts working on your last nerve, Vox?
Yeah, it was great listening to KFAN on Monday, and basically every show replaying each one of those 8 false starts and hearing you and the analyst up in the booth. And although I don't get to say those things out loud, I was certainly saying them to the room around me. It was, how is this happening? Why is this happening? What is going on? We would be winning this game if we weren't doing this stupid stuff.
And I don't feel this way about every game, but it's kind of hit me hard on this one. I not only fully expect the Vikings to win the game, I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be close, blowout, or whatever. O'Connell's 6-1 lifetime against the Bears. They already beat them once this year. It's the bounce back off the abnormalities of losses. And you got that bad Chargers game, Atlanta here, Sunday Night Football, Sky Umal, Rochi's all fired up for that game. We don't score a touchdown. And then in the Baltimore game, what's abnormal? Close game. We're -3 in the take give with those 8 false starts. So the team just bounces back from those types of games incredibly well. I think they should win this weekend. What do you think?
Yeah, we've seen it time and again, the bounce back, and I think you can attribute that bounce back obviously to the coaches and the game planning that goes into it. Also, what they like to talk about in the locker room. I can't think of the word that is the culture in the locker room, and so for those veteran players that bounce back, I think they're more used to that or more able to dig deep and grab onto that. But for a quarterback, we can say it's a bounce back, but I think for the quarterback, it's still just learning. Every day is learning. Every play is learning. And I don't know that you can count on a rookie quarterback to quote unquote bounce back, but hopefully we can just count on our rookie quarterback to get better every play, every quarter.
I'm not a big video game guy, but every so often I'll play Madden with my son Derek, and Alan is the Vox of all Voxes ever to Vox also. And is it Madden 25 or 26? Madden 25, right?
I think the game that's out now would be called 26.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, but it's so beautiful. Like if one of us plays the Vikings and we turn up the sound when the Vox is saying something, you put a little more oomph into those Vikings names in the old EA Sports Madden 26, don't you?
That's a good time every year, is sitting down with those EA Sports guys. I've done it now, I don't know, probably 10 years.
Yeah.
And every now and then they'll say that to me, too, during the voiceover recording is, I think you had a little extra on Justin Jefferson there. Why don't you give me one that's a little more monotone?
Hey, Alan, seriously, though, how long does that take? You got 32 teams. How long does that take, and what do you do for EA Sports when you're voxing a Madden game?
The very first year that I did it, again, 10 or 12 years ago, was probably 30 hours of recording. Certainly not all in a row. But each year, just because of technology and what they're able to do with computers and sound, each year, basically, I just need to do rookies, the guys that get drafted. And whether it's offense or defense, just each name for whatever it is that they might do, catching a pass, making a tackle. Players that change teams in the off season don't really need anything. The computer system itself can correct all of that and put the right team name with the player. So each year there's probably, 3 or 4 hours in June to get ready for the release.
Yeah, but I mean, hopefully they're not cutting that number for the mailbox money. Like it used to be $1, now it's 65 cents because they got computer generated names.
Well, I can't give away any of my secrets. But let's say a couple of years ago, yeah, that was the deal. Was when we started, we decided we're going to pay you X amount of dollars. Well, you're doing like 1/5 of that work now, so we're going to cut that down to 1/5. And
oh, good.
They said, hey, no, the point is you're getting me in your game. Doesn't that worth something?
Amen.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Hey, I'm sorry about what happened on Monday because I know it was greatly troubling to you. Have you bounced back okay?
On Monday, please remind me.
Yeah, the Packers lost. And the Packers lost, and I know that always greatly troubles you out Red Rock's way.
What was the stat that I just heard from Charch? I only heard the end of it, that in the last 20 games, there's been like 16 games where Jordan has thrown only 1 touchdown or none? What was the numbers? Do you remember?
13 games, 0 or 1 touchdowns out of the last 20. Holy cow.
Wow, that was shocking.
All right, my brother.
It's always a good day when the Packers lose, and of course, it's a much better day when you get the double whammy.
Slayton, Minnesota, go crazy. Red Rocks.
Oh, by the way, Slayton, Minnesota is in the U.S. Bank Stadium on Saturday morning.
What?
Murray County Central. The Rebels.
Yeah,
go Rebels.
Go Rebels. Well, I mean, why don't you should fly in and Vox it in the name of Murray County and Slayton.
I am voxing the outdoor gate messages telling people welcome and where to sit, and I am flying in early. I'll be in attendance at that game, but not working.
Right on, my man. Can't wait to see you this weekend. Safe travels. Thanks for the time.
Thank you, PA. Skol Vikes.
See you, bud. That's Roachy, Alan Roach at Mile High Roach via X, voice of U.S. Bank Stadium. He is the Vox of all Voxes ever to Vox, and we love him. Our final Thursday segment is next.
I can't wait until tomorrow, 'cause tomorrow might very well be too late.
Can't wait for tomorrow, 9 to noon, can't wait.
I can't wait until tomorrow.
Buffalo Wild Wings Lakeville for the feast.
Tomorrow
is the Friday football feast. P.A. Nordo and young Alec. Man, we got some nice, sweet tricks up our sleeves for tomorrow. Let's preview it for a little bit here, just about a minute and change. And I have a question to ask the co-hosts of the Friday Football Feast, Nordo and Alec Lewis. Alec joins now. What's going on there, Alec Lewis from The Athletic? How are you?
I'm great, PA. I'm getting ready to go to the facility. Going to try to get a bite to eat and then hop out there for practice. I'm not practicing, but I'm going to watch it,
Okay, wait. Well, quick question off that, because Nordo hit me with it earlier, and I just kind of guessed with McCarthy and this hand thing, and comes up limited on the practice report. At end of the equation, nothing to see here, right?
It's not nothing to me.
Yeah,
it is not nothing to me. He had the bandage on, but I'll be very curious today when we're out there how much he's using the right hand, if, how much we're seeing under center snaps. I would just say, and originally I was with you, and then I'll just say after doing some due diligence, not totally sure it's not nothing.
Okay, well, that's great. Thank you. Much about which to chat at the feast tomorrow, Buffalo Wild Wings Lakeville. I have a respectful request I would like to make of the two of you. You're not going to like me for it, and we will see if you acquiesce or if you push back. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
Are you about to give us homework?
No, here's the deal. You know how we have that IHOP segment in honor of Paul, as in Paul Charchian?
I would never forget it, of course.
The fantasy football segment. Well, we have quarterbacks tomorrow. And just, by fate, the way things worked out last week, the one that I selected, Jonathan Taylor, got 18 points. And he had 3 touchdowns, and I already was in first. So I've pulled away by a little bit from you guys. It's like 54 for me, 28 for the Con, 22 for Alec. So
You're bragging.
Here's my request, if you guys don't mind.
Okay.
Because it's Friday, we do this. There's a game tonight. I'd like to take Justin Fields.
Come on.
Can I get Drake May?
No, here's the deal. No, well, yeah, you can. No, the answer is no.
Oh, thanks.
But I just want to put the IHOP part of the equation with me on a heat check. I just want to see indeed how hot it is. So I'd like to take Justin Fields tonight in the touchdown only bid. Alec, are you cool with that?
Yeah, that's fine. Do you get rushing and passing touchdowns? I mean, he's gonna. This is a Thursday night game, and it's gonna be the greatest game Justin Fields has ever played.
I was thinking passing. I was thinking passing. Yeah, it's what do you think, Nordo?
You're going to get 6 for the feet. You're going to get 4 for the passing. I see the feet make more sense to me than the passing does with this situation.
So it's a no.
I would personally lean towards no. I will go.
Okay.
I will yield the floor, and I'll co-sign on whatever Alex says. I'm out on it though.
And see, the reason I brought it up, Alec,
because you're getting cocky now,
was simply from a heat check standpoint to see how hot these mindless picks are, and I'm like, well, then the worst one potentially available of all the games plays tonight,
right?
And I'd like to take him just to see what the heat check, how the heat checks out.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, first of all, I'm okay with it because I think Justin Fields against the Patriots defense is a losing battle. But I thought what you were going to say is you were just going to go ahead and stamp J.J. McCarthy to use your heat check power on that. Like, that's where I thought you were going to go.
That's not a bad idea, actually. He's manufactured. I mean, in the 2 wins, if you think they're going to beat the Bears, he manufactured 3 TDs in each of those victories.
Yeah.
But I will say, Nordo went with Jordan Mason last week.
Yeah, that was stupid.
So I'm not sure. We might not have the touch with that. So.
All right. Well, the Fields bet's off, but the rest of the stuff is on. And I'll see you tomorrow, Buffalo Wild Wings, Lakeville, for the Friday football feast. We'll talk about Hitman's 200th regular season game. McCarthy's wounded hand, and a lot more. Can't wait to see you tomorrow.
You too, PX. See you guys, and enjoy tonight's game. And if Justin Fields goes off, I mean, I don't know. Now it just adds a layer to this thing. So I will see you guys soon. Looking forward to it.
Thank you, bud. Alec Lewis.
You were getting cocky about it.
I was not.
You put 3 in with JT.
No, it's like I mean, say. Like we don't play slots, okay? But say we went and played a slot,
right?
I put $100 into it, and bam, it hit for $2,500.
Oh, nice.
Then I'm like, okay, I got this nice fat voucher. I'll put it in the machine next to it,
yeah,
and then hit the button, max for $1 machine, whatever, and it hits again for $1,500.
Sure, yeah.
Well, then I would go find another machine and say, all right, well, here's the heat check. This is a $5 machine. And I'm going to play 5 consecutive times, maximum amount you can hit for the heat check.
That's true.
Not for the cockiness, the heat check. But it's all for naught now.
Well, the heat check would be tomorrow. Again, you're running away with this. You're trying to intentionally sandbag it so that Alec and I can get more back into this thing, and so you don't get disinterested in 3 weeks for it.
The best.
And the heat check would be you take Purdy or Mac Jones into the weekend, or a Jacoby Brissett, or something like that. Not knowing, on the one side if either are going to play.
I got it.
And on the other side, you got a guy, Marvin Harrison's out. The team's falling apart in Zona. That would be a little bit of a heat check.
Yeah.
Because then it's just everything you touch turns to gold from a fantasy perspective. So,
yep.
I think I might have to pick JJ tomorrow. I might have to pick JJ McCarthy.
You got the second pick, so we'll see how it works. Great job today. Thank you very much for listening to everybody. And Buffalo Wild Wings Lakeville tomorrow for the feast, if you would like to join. Alec Lewis, Nordo, and yours truly, Paul Allen. Have a wonderful day. May God bless all of you and your families. And here comes Big Daddy Khan with that patented rap on the show.
Just listen. Just listen. The game is over. Now, what did I do wrong?
Good stuff.
You didn't ask, and maybe nobody cares, but I feel like McCarthy runs it up on the Bears. I got this whiplash from the up and down starts. Maybe I'm just a rube and throwing darts, but despite all the bad vibes and derision, both the kids' win came in the division. Now, the front's not bad, and the box is really stacked. They're pulling fans from the stands to play cornerback. Now, sure, they're absolutely going to run. Manangai, saying the name will be fun. They're going to try to hit us with him and Swift a bunch. Jalen Redmond's going to eat that duo for lunch. We'll talk about all of this tomorrow. B-Dubs Lakeville. Be there if you got to beg or borrow. Take the morning off, ask a buddy to drive, pump it up. Team's going to get win number 5.
Football Feast.
Podcast today's Paul Allen Show, or listen back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.